mga Kaguro! Ako si Briar!
Ako si Jackie.
Tara!
Samahan niyo kami!
Kumusta, Kaguro? Ngayon po ay pag-uusapan natin ang designing tasks with engagement in mind. Nakuha ko po ang content na ito sa Distance Learning Playbook na binili po sa amin ng district namin bago po magsimula ang school year for virtual learning. So, maganda po ang libro na ito because it focuses on engagement and impact in all settings. So, that means po is kahit na virtual tayo ngayon, magamit pa rin po natin yung mga matututunan natin sa book na to when we go back to the classroom. Meron po itong 9 modules ranging from how to take care of yourself during virtual learning to engaging tasks, planning instructional units, learning, feedback, assessment, and grading. Okay, so designing tasks with engagement in mind. Sinasabi po dun sa libro na however we do our lessons man daw po, asynchronous or synchronous, yung mga task daw po na pinaprovide natin should always foster learning and not just busy work. Pag po sinabi nating busy work, minsan naiisip po natin yung mga extra activities lang po na siguro pinapagawa po ng mga teacher para lang po may ginagawa yung mga bata. Pero sa libro po, ang sinasabi po dito, ang description po ng busy work is something that is not engaging to the students. So kung hindi po sila engaged dun sa mga activity na pinagawa nyo or pinagawa natin, it's considered busy work. Another example po of busy work is focusing too much on rote learning. Importante naman po talaga ang memorization and recalling, pero focusing too much on this doesn't really foster higher learning. So sinasabi po na we should be aware of the kinds of worksheets that we provide to the kids. Ano po ba ang takeaway nila from these activities? Maraming Filipino teacher po ang nahuhulog sa category na to, including me po. Lalo na po nung nagsisimula akong magturo, lalo na po kasi kung grammar focus yung pagtuturo natin ng Filipino. Ngayon po, ano po ba yung sinasabi ng libro? Meron po siyang 4 na category na sinabi. First po is encourage students to think in more than one way, from closed task to open task. So, ang ibig po sabihin nun is iba-ibang perspective po yung ituturo natin. Iba-ibang perspective po dahil iba-iba naman po tayo ng buhay. Yung mga bata, may iba-iba din silang life experiences. Kung magtuturo po tayo in grammar-focused way, medyo hindi po natin to mako-cover. Pero kung mag-shift po tayo sa thematic teaching, it will give us an opportunity to allow the students to produce the language based on their own experiences. So halimbawa po sa Filipino 5 ko, kakatapos lang po namin sa food unit, nutrition. So may mga questions and answer po sila na na-produce na hindi ko binigay, which they came up on their own based on the theme that we were learning. Tapos sa Filipino 1 ko na po, we're learning about family. They were able to come up with simple questions and simple answers, yes or no questions that is based on their own. Halimbawa, kumakain ba ng sabay-sabay ang pamilya mo? Right? Simple question, simple answer is a yes or a no. Opo, kumakain ang pamilya ko ng sabay-sabay. Hindi po, hindi kumakain ang pamilya ko ng sabay-sabay. The point is, they were able to incorporate their own perspective, their own experience into the answer instead of just memorizing it and answering it in just one way. Ang susunod pong category from the book is move from information to understanding by requiring students to connect and relate. So again, medyo tahi po to sa sinabi ko sa umpisa. So they have to relate, they have to connect to the content. Manggagaling po sa sarili nilang experience yung ipoproduce nila. They can compare and contrast their family from other families, family in the Philippines versus family in America. They can compare and contrast nutrition or the way we eat, like how do Filipinos eat, what do they eat versus what do I eat here in America. Diba po? These topics are more engaging to them kasi they bring something to the table. hindi lang po tayo yung mga teacher yung bigay ng content. Sila po, nagbibigay din sila. So, mas engaged sila. Kasama din po dito yung identifying rules and patterns. Sometimes, I tell my students to observe these sentences at ano po yung mga nakikita nilang pattern, ano po yung mga na-oobserbahan nilang rules on how we use the Filipino language. Again po, we keep them engaged when we provide opportunities for them to share something. Hindi lang po lahat galing sa atin. Third category naman po is to ask students what they think first rather than telling them what they will need. Diba? So, again, medyo tahina naman po siya dun sa pangalawang category. We wanna see what the students know din po. Diba? It makes them feel important. It makes them feel valued po that you are asking for what they know. You're asking for their opinion. So as teachers, we need to create tasks that allow students to speak up. We should also allow them to try their new ideas, see if their idea works. And if it doesn't, how can we help? Right? What is a better way? Ang halimbawa ko po dito is choosing conversation gambits. Binigyan ko po sila ng isang malaking list ng conversation gambit. Pinapili ko po sa kanila which ones are most appropriate for our topic. So kung ano man po yung pag-uusapan namin, ano ba dito? Pumili ka ng 5, pumili ka ng 10. Alin dito ang pwede mong magamit when you speak about the topic? Alin dito yung mga magagamit mo? Okay? So, instead of ako ang nagbigay sa kanila, sila ang pumili para sa sarili nila, and then they'll figure out if it works or it doesn't work, right? So, they have the autonomy to decide. That's another thing po. Hindi po lahat ng bagay dapat tayo ang nagde-decide. Dapat po magbigay din po tayo ng mataas sa kanila where they can decide on their own. They can choose which one's more appropriate for them, which one's more applicable to them. At ang last category naman po is position students to plan a way forward by moving from procedure to problem solving. So ang sinasabi naman po dito, wag po natin ibigay lahat sa kanila. Right? So magbigay lang po tayo ng konting mga detalye na kailangan nila, na magagamit nila to understand the lesson, pero hindi lahat nandun. Ang perfect example po nito is ang interpretive task in the thematic teaching. Kasi po may part doon na hindi naman po nila lahat alam yung vocabulary, pero binigyan po natin sila ng clues so that they can understand, so that we can make it more comprehensible for them. Pero hindi natin binigay lahat. Kailangan pa rin nilang mag-interpret. So we provided insufficient information, but then they need to solve the problem, right? They need to be able to answer the questions, fill out the literal comprehension parts, provide an inference on what the topic is about. Again, in this way po, they are much more engaged dahil pinag-iisipan po nila talaga yung sagot kasi hindi natin binigay lahat. Ayan po ang 4 na category na natutunan natin ngayon from the Distance Learning Playbook. Again, kahit po distance learning focus ito, we can still use it in all settings. So pag bumalik na po tayo sa classroom, magagamit pa rin po natin itong mga ito. Sana po may natutunan kayo to increase engagement in your class. May it be for independent or for collaboration. Tandaan nyo lang po na itong 4 na category na to ay makakatulong sa inyo to move from busy work types activities to an engaging activity. Ang challenge ko po sa inyo, ano po ang mga tasks that you can incorporate for each category? I-share niyo po sa amin, mag-comment po kayo sa ibaba, at huwag niyo pong kalimutan na mag-like at mag-subscribe. Salamat mga Kaguro, hanggang sa muli!